All things football tonight. Developments in the Champions League this week. We have Arsenal Champions League final for the first time in 20 years, setting
It's
up
been
a clash
20
against,
years.
yeah, first time in 20 years,
Wow, it's been a while, eh? Damn.
setting up a clash against Paris Saint-Germain.
This will be a back to
So
back
they're
for
going to
them.
go back to back, right? We have Arsenal in a dramatic twist Premier League title race with Manchester City losing ground in a tight finish, and England's top flight is setting to secure a fifth spot for next season Champions League due to high coefficient rankings.
That's crazy. I think the worst thing that we could expect, or me as a Chelsea supporter, would definitely be having Arsenal fans sing, "You haven't won the double." Can never sing that, Champions League and Premier League. So that's my biggest fear for what we're working with right now, because we've always sung famous song, "Champions of Europe." You've never sing that. You've never sing that. You'll never sing that. Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. So the backslash of that would be, "We've won the double. You'll never sing that."
People are saying that this is the best team since Arsenal's invincible era. Hein, what's your comment on that? What do you think? Since Bergkamp,
No
since your Henry,
chance. You see, that team was that invincible team. They were consistent. This team is not. They cannot be even close to that team. I would even say a few Manchester United and City teams are better over the years than this team. So they're not in the top teams of all time Premier League. No.
being a bit hard on Arsenal. They are 14 games unbeaten in the Champions League.
Many teams have done that. So many teams in the Champions League have won 14, 16 matches, and they've butt at the end. That Arsenal team as well. The amount of games you win, those important games, the ones that count. Look, I'm going to take nothing away from Arsenal. They're playing brilliant football. Not the best we've seen. What needs to be mentioned is that they, in the Champions League final, they are in pole position to win the Premier League. It's Manchester City's cup to lose. We'll just have to wait until the end of the season to make sense of what's happening there. It's a brilliant team so far.
They're coming up against PSG. Arsenal, of course, with the drought 20 years ago was against Barcelona. So, what do you guys think of PSG? I believe they are the best freestyling team in Europe, right? They have this very freestyling type football. Stamping their mark on European football, I tend to agree with that opinion. What do you guys say?
Look, they're playing wonderful football, winning the Champions League. So, I mean, they might just win the double. And the last team to have done that was Real Madrid. They had a strong team. They had Ronaldo as well. And must be so sad for Mbappe leaving PSG to
Oh,
win
yeah.
that massive
Yeah.
trophy and had to witness it from the dugout at the Bernabeu. And I'm sure he feels those stitches in his stomach. He can say what he wants. He can do whatever he wants. We know how he feels. And that's why he's been quiet. You don't see him on social media. You don't hear anything about him. Nothing. So the president of PSG, what an amazing transfer he did there. Luis
Doing a good
Enrique.
job there with PSG,
Yeah.
yeah? Yeah, so PSG knocked out Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich
Yeah.
also being quite a powerhouse in European football.
Vincent Company came out of Anderlecht to Bournemouth. Look, if we go back into the history of Vincent Company, he goes to Anderlecht. The team is in a bad state. He doesn't have funding. It's his childhood club. He takes charge as a player manager, right? They are really on the back foot. So he has to step out of the manager role and start playing because they were at the bottom of the log. The year after that, he started taking change. But you can see on the way Company does his things. He's a real manager. I think that's why Pep Guardiola has so much high praise for this man. And I think in the second year, he finished fourth and then second with no budget whatsoever. Straight after that, he went to Bournemouth, where he was in the championship. And I think he walked away with 104 points. But then obviously, when you step into the Premier League, it's most common thing that happens for any team that comes from the championship. They normally suffer quite a bit when they step back into the Premier League. But at the same time, there was a phone call that was made, and it came from Bayern Munich's camp. They spoke to Pep Guardiola. He couldn't praise him any higher because he said that Vincent Company is destined to be a good manager. So it was a little bit of an upset to see that last fight at home in the Allianz Arena that they've lost to PSG. But you got to give PSG some credit. The way they play their game was brilliant. That cutback hunger, they pouncing all the time. I think they're all quite young, full of energy, and I think Luis Enrique just set the system. You keep the tempo of this game. You pace everything. I think it's been working out. It's difficult to track PSG back, difficult to keep up with their energy. Going to be an interesting fight with Arsenal. Wenger will be there as well to go watch and cheer his team on. Pick up for Mikel Arteta. What a brilliant student of football. He's been managing that team and he's been really, really making a massive impact. Let's see and hope they can maintain this for another couple of years.
I feel for Vincent Company. He's been doing really well, and Man City's stalemate and consistency has come through Vincent Company's, dedication all the years. What a good find was that, or a good match between Pep and Company to do so well with Man City. I think the success of Man City definitely comes from the back of Company. And yeah, what an awesome coach he's turned out to be. But I feel for him. I also, suspect that he's going nowhere. So let's look forward to another awesome Champions League next year. How's the final going to look on your guys' end? What do you think is going to happen with Arsenal and PSG going head to head?
I do go in as a neutral. I wouldn't say I'm one of the best supporters of Arsenal, but I would. I mean, you guys know me. I prefer that the strength lies in the Premier League, and as much as that hurts for Arsenal to win it, I prefer a English team in the English Premier League to win that cup than it to go to France or anywhere else because we need to strengthen our league. So a little bit of me, 0.00217789% will be supporting Arsenal. And good luck to them. Let's see it, man. They did a good job. Um, Semi-final, beautiful. Atletico was outclassed as well, and now they meet a real.
An unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
So that's perfect. Let's see how it all kicks back in time to come for the Champions League. They're doing quite well in the Premier League as well. I mean, they got 35 games played now, 23 wins, seven draws, 5 losses. Really good. And I think the ball is definitely in their court.
When I was watching the PSG Bayern game, hoping for Bayern to win, I just didn't want PSG. I don't want PSG to get the double. And I also don't want Arsenal to win, to be fair. So for me, it was like, okay, the Bayern has to win. Since I don't want any of the other two to win. But in that match, Bayern looked sluggish, man. They looked tired. I don't know what was going on. It's like it was a totally different team from the previous week. So I don't know if they were just tired, but it was so sloppy. Olise was sloppy, man. He lost the ball so many times. Luis Diaz, so many times he lost the ball. So I was surprised by Bayern's second leg performance.
There, you make a point there. Eh? There was like 9 goals scored in the first leg.
Yeah, I mean, they went from 9 goals, brilliant attacking football. I mean, it was 9 goals, and there weren't even, you would say, proper defensive mistakes, It was a good match. But then in the second leg, it was so sloppy, man. They conceded in what, the first 10 minutes?
That's correct, yeah. In the first 2 minutes or something.
First 2 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I missed the first 5 minutes of the game, or first 10 minutes of the game. So I'm not too sure. When I came and I saw it was 1 hour, I was like, oh, come on, guys. And then they just couldn't feed Kane. Kane had to drop into midfield and be the playmaker. It wasn't working. Musiala was also very sloppy. I don't know what was going
Yeah, I
on
know
there.
he should have taken a few chances there. He had quite a bit of opportunities, and on a big game like that, I think you bury those, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And I can understand why Company took him off early in the second half. Yeah, it wasn't working. But I don't know. I don't know what they should have changed. It's just PSG has so much energy, man. They give you no time on the ball. You have to before you even get the ball, you have to know what you're going to do with it because there's no time once you receive it. That's how it is.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah. It just seemed like they were out of energy, and I think the moment got to them, even though they were playing at the Allianz. You
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
them to
I
do a bit
swear,
better,
I
eh?
would have thought. I would have thought PSG was playing at home.
Yeah, but you can't keep Harry Kane out of it, can't you? Yeah, he's a goal scoring machine, eh? Even in the 90th minute, he came and produced something there.
Yeah, that's true. That was a beautiful turn and shoot. And you know what's funny is between Olise and I'm not sure what's the right back. What's his name? Stanisic
Yeah.
and Luis Diaz and all those guys. So many crosses, and they couldn't find him.
And I mean,
And the
when you have a
decision
player with
making as
that
well.
strength up front, you just want to get the ball up to him. And, these moments, all the people and all the players want to seem like they stars. I think Olise also, but too much off that he could chew. I thought he was going to come shining in this game, but unfortunate um, buying to impact him.
Yeah, and I don't get why they don't like to give strikers the ball into feet. Like, what's up with that? Why always go to the winger? How did Kane score the goal? Ball to feet, he turned, he shot, goal.
Yeah.
Just give Kane the ball to his feet. He can handle it. He's fine. But no, it's always wide. Try to run, cut in, no, cut, pass back, lose the ball. So useless. Just sometimes give it to the striker's feet and make space.
I think they had his number. I think Luis Enrique made sure that he set up his team to block, to cut out Hurricane completely, and they kept pushing him to that left side. I don't think he had much of a choice. They dragged the whole game to the wings, and all they did was run riot with those guys. I think the pace was way too much for Bayern Munich. They couldn't keep up, and it was so sad that they felt a little bit lost at home, and you could see it. It was like an old experienced footballer playing against the new talent with so much energy, and there's no substitute for speed, right? Even if you have the wits about it, but if you can't get there, you need to have the stamina. And Bayern Munich had no stamina that night.
Yeah, that's true. But I just felt like they could have done better. Like whenever Kane dropped into the midfield, the ball was moving, and it's tough to get the ball off Kane. Unless you're gonna foul him, it's difficult to get the ball off him. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think Arsenal and Arteta they're gonna have to pull a rabbit out of a hat to beat this PSG team in the final because yes, you can sit back and play their defensive style, but against a team with so much firepower like PSG, I don't know if you can do that for extended period. Arsenal
Yeah.
just has to make
PSG
sure
seems to
don't
have it.
concede early.
Yeah, they seem to have it all together. They're gelling awesomely together. I think Bokinius, as the captain there, is doing a great job.
Yeah,
So
that's what
interesting
happens when you
final.
play like when you play like a team. Everybody is working together. There's no big egos in the team. I don't know if you heard what's been happening in Madrid, man.
Come on, shit.
Crazy,
Let's hear.
crazy stuff. So apparently, in training on Wednesday, Chouameni and Fede Valverde got into a punching match. Apparently, Fede was knocked
Oh,
out cold, taken to hospital.
goodness.
No way.
Like,
That was a serious brawl, huh?
yeah, like I don't know how much of a bro. Apparently, started on the field, went to the locker room. Fede got knocked out cold. Had to get the ambulance. Probably has a cut. And the worst is, we're just playing Barcelona on the weekend. About a month back, there was another brawl between what's it? It was Carreras and Rudiger. Rudiger slapped Carreras.
Yeah, I saw that on social media, but that was playful. You could see it. Like Rudiger did it, but not with like malintent. It was just like a, hey, you boy, come here. And it's in his character. But to knock a guy out, I think that's a whole different story, man. That's UFC.
Is that because they're not in the Champions League and they seem to want to dominate that league as if it's their own? So all things crashing on their end.
Yeah, and there's too many big egos in that team, man. Like, look at Mbappe. He's injured. Just because you're injured doesn't mean you can do whatever you want, right? And he
Yeah.
takes a holiday to Italy. Like, you don't do that when the team is still fighting for the league, even though most likely they're out once they lose to Barcelona this weekend. But yeah, very, very poor. And I'm actually starting to think getting Jose Mourinho in is the correct answer here.
You could see football's not like it used to be, right? The the mentality has changed so much. It's so true what Alex Ferguson said, that he's not coaching football players anymore. He's coaching young men with managers, and it's so difficult to really get into the heart of it, because football is about that feeling. You want to be there, and it used to be boys that played on the side of the road. They had something to play for. They supported the teams. They came from the neighborhoods where they could hear the team playing on the Saturday or midweek. They were from Manchester. They were from Stoke. Now you've got all these crazy transfers and everyone's chasing money. And I think it's the social media that's on certain areas that we didn't need light being shone on at all. And I think it affects the football. But then at the same time, everything changes. Football changes, the speed changes, the tactics. I don't think Alex Ferguson would have survived in this time of football. And that takes nothing away from him. He was a brilliant manager in his era, in his decades. I mean, he's there for a long time. But football's not the same anymore. I mean, if we naive and don't see that, then I don't know. But it's not the same. The Real Madrid of old was way more men. Sergio Ramos, Pepe. When you walked and you saw those guys, like that's a footballer. These other guys, they're having a ball of a time.
Yeah, it's safe to say that you're not only a footballer today, but you're an influencer and a content creator. You have to keep up with the fans in that way where you have to entertain them all the time. And you guys don't think that that affects the game later on, your progress and your determination. I don't think in Ronaldo's era was he keen on, getting out there with showing off and doing all kinds of dances. I remember I myself am a Man United fan, and when Pogba came to United, he had influenced all these young stars to be, show offs more than what they were footballers. And if you look at it later on, it kind of shows in the game and in their performances. I think he had influenced Rashford and Jesse Lingard and Orlando Garnacho, who is still struggling, if you ask me. So, yeah, I think that the determination behind being a great footballer has almost faded, or just the focus on football has faded for these players. And the money talks later on, and the heads are up. Football players, but multimillionaires as well. Goes without saying, I think that the money does influence their character, it seems.
A lot of these players are just kids. Some like
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
them 21, 19, 20, and they're millionaires. Look at
Oh,
Yamal,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yamal, a millionaire at what, 17?
Multi-millionaire, yeah. Don't know what
Yeah,
to do with that money.
exactly. Throwing crazy parties for his birthday, you know. And as a kid, it's easy to get a big ego, right? You don't have that maturity yet. So I can kind of understand all these players with the egos because a lot of them are young. It's the game nowadays. It's fast. You need to be young. You need to be have stamina. That's why PSG is so good. A lot of
Mm.
youngsters that can run for days.
Yeah, no, so we set for an awesome final on the 30th of May. Let's put it on the record here. The Puskas Arena in Budapest. Our lovely Nevin will be there in the stands cheering on
But he did say he's a Chelsea fan and he'll be supporting Arsenal to win the Champions League.
I'm also the editor of this videos, and I don't know whether we will be landing with that one. So it's a win-win, right?
Okay. So Nevin, from the horse's mouth, Arsenal to win.
I don't know who's going to win. If I have to choose a
I'm asking.
favorite,
I'm asking you to put it on the record, just for the audience and just to keep things fun and light here.
okay. I would definitely have a better opinion once I've heard your decision. Who do you think would be the winner?
And out there. Yeah, go plan. I want
I go
predictions. I
first.
want score lines.
Okay, so I'm in between who wants to win, right? Who's going to win? Because, like Devon mentioned, it's gonna make for the English Premier League, the league that I support. Definitely would go, good for us in that regard. But I think PSG will take
Score
it.
line?
Scoreline, let's make it a 3-2 scoreline to PSG. Luis Enrique, with his Spanish influence, I think he has won over Arteta this time around.
Okay.
Hein?
Now hear what David says before I go.
Well, the
Oh,
the the thing is, right? I take no sides in this. I'm
Okay,
not an
okay.
Arsenal supporter, but let's talk football.
Predictions?
3-1. If PSG win, could be 4-5-0.
No, but what's your
we
what you
want
have
you
to
to
share?
choose
No,
one.
yeah, you have to. That's something on the fence. You have to choose
Okay,
one.
so
Stick with it.
most probably I think Arsenal would win like 2-0, but I'm hoping for an exciting game, so I would lean towards 3-1 Arsenal.
I think Arsenal will score
Yeah,
three
the
goals.
Arsenal fans.
And only
Neville's on
concede
your
one.
guys' side. Hein?
2-0 scoreline to PSG.
2-0 scoreline.
Yeah, I don't even think Arsenal's gonna score.
Do you think that PSG has won over Arsenal on the day?
Firstly, I don't think there's any way Arsenal is going to prevent PSG from not scoring for 90 minutes. Well, I think they've scored in the last hour. I don't want to quote this. So I'm not going to say the amount of games, but they scored in a lot of the last games, right? They always score. So I think they will definitely score. And I just don't think that Arsenal's going to have the firepower to actually even score a goal. Yes, the Guacar is, I don't know, he was horrible in the match against Atletico. Saka isn't fully fit, so I'm not too sure, but okay, the match is still going to be in a while. So maybe he's fully fit then. So the only threat I think is Saka. He's like the real threat there.
Okay. Interesting.
Martinelli as well. He's I don't know if I don't feel Martinelli that much. So that's why I think on the day I think PSG will take it.
Vitinha, I think he's now reaching Ballon d'Or status. I believe he's one of the most underrated players at the moment. I am biased to say that Kobe Maino has been my favorite player this season in the midfield. And I know old school football, the game is mostly dominated in the midfield. I think Vitinha is doing a great job also with regards to keeping up his fitness and consistency. So if he has anything to say about Arsenal and how the progress of their game will play out, I think he will definitely be a big, big say in also PSG's going forward, delivering the ball to Dembele. And
Varetskhelia.
there we
Kvaratskhelia.
go. Fine, thank you.
Where is he
I
from?
think
Georgia, right?
He's from Georgia.
He's from Georgia.
Georgian.
I think it's anyone's game. If you're forcing me, I would take Arsenal.
If Arsenal wants to win, they're gonna have to be in top form on that game because the wing play of PSG is insane. And you got Dembele drifting out and helping whichever wing. He drifts out to the right, he's helping Desiree Doué and Hakimi. Who goes to the left, and it's Nuno Mendes and Varetskhelia. Their wing play is so dangerous, man. So yeah, they're gonna have to be on top of the game if they want to beat this PSG team, I think. Maybe Declan Rice
You
does
know,
make the difference. Declan Rice is a good right foot. Remember those two free kicks against Real Madrid, I won't forget those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful
no.
free kick.
I'll give Arsenal that. They've been knocking in plenty of goals from set pieces this season. I think they've been dominating in that area. So also, maybe just to add on, besides the counter-attacking football, they are set play geniuses. So I think that PSG better watch their behavior and keep them out of the last 16 when it comes to free kicks. But yeah, when it comes to normal freestyle play, I think that PSG would be definitely one above Arsenal and also confidence going into the game. Also, Man City hot on Arsenal's heels on the league. He's putting a lot of pressure on them. So lots to lose there, I suppose, and much more pressure where PSG goes into this game, much more light-headed and I think more confident in winning Bayern at Bayern's home. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting.
Especially corners for Arsenal, right? Now, I never get this. Instead, what the teams do, they know Arsenal, so they learn corners. So they have almost the entire team in the box. So the box becomes so crowded that you can hardly move. And then they put it on top of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper has like 7 players around him, and it makes the goalkeeper even more anxious, right? It's like if it was me and I'm playing against Arsenal and they doing that and they putting all of the players in the box, I will put 3 players outside the box on the halfway line. I'll be like, okay, it's a gamble. Yes, they have a lot of their players there in the box, but if we can get the ball, or they will have to move 2 to 3 players out of the box. If we move 3 players out, they also have to move players out because they can't leave them alone on the halfway line, right? So then they have to move
Yeah,
players out, and then there's a bit more freedom in the box instead of I don't know. And they score so many corners, but even against Madrid, they also score from the corners. I'm like it just works for them. They put it on top
yeah,
of the goalkeeper.
Arteta got one day over the next team. I think he had worked out a plan with the corners that no team can match, it seems, and it's gotten them very far this season. I think
They
they
have a
scored in
throwing
the
coach,
first
right?
leg against United with two corner goals, yeah. That
Yeah, they have like
punched the
a
wind
dead
out
ball
of Man
coach.
City, or Man United at least. Nevin for Arsenal for the Champions League. Hein for PSG. Myself for PSG. Viewers, let's come back on this one after the final and we'll take all the comments and the likes and the following with regards to our conversation today. But just to keep it nice and short, boys, let's speak about Premier League, what's happening, regards to the top 8 finish, and it's quite tight from, I think, 10th position up, Nevin. I know you have a bit more info on that.
yeah. It's from ninth position. Chelsea lost this weekend as well. They're in really bad form. They definitely out.
I would just put it out there and say Man United, I think, is the only team that has solidified their place this year so far. It's a long time coming. I think that the Manchester United fans have been very quiet and very lonesome in watching all the Champions League stuff unfolding. So we look forward to next season and also just enjoying some weekly football.
I think it might actually look good for Arsenal. City still has to play Bournemouth, and Bournemouth has been unbeaten since Jan. They haven't lost a game. I mean, they lost in the FA Cup, right? But I mean, in the league, I think early Jan is the last time they lost the game. So, which incidentally was against Arsenal. So they still have to play City. So if they can pull one back, they could give Arsenal a shot. They can maybe get a draw out of City or something.
Seems
Mhm.
like you have great insight here on the Premier League. Hein, anything that you want to add on perhaps the Spanish league? How are things going to end on that side?
Barcelona is going to take it. They just need a draw against Madrid on the weekend, and then they win the league. So it'll be Barcelona, unless Barcelona lose all the games and Madrid wins all the game, which is
So there
highly
is a
unlikely.
chance.
There is a chance, but it's highly unlikely for that to happen.
Okay, score predictions for our Clasico this weekend.
I think Barcelona wins 2-1, maybe three
Yeah,
one.
I'll go
Uh,
definitely with a 2-2. I think it might be a draw.
I think every game with Barcelona is an exciting game. because of that super high line. There's always action happening. And I don't think there'll be any Yamal and there won't be Mbappe. So this is Vinny's time to shine, I guess, if we want. But in the end, I still think Barca. Yeah, I
Cool,
think 2-1.
man.
2-1 is a fair scoreline.
Yeah, no, Barcelona for me this time. I think with everything happening behind closed doors there at Real Madrid, surely will affect the players going forward and going on the field. I think there's lots of leadership structural issues that must take place there before they come to compete again next season. Okay, so Barcelona for the Spanish League, Arsenal and Man City still fighting it out till the end there in the English Premier League. And then you guys have given your predictions for the Champions League final. Very cool. Thank you all. I think we have reached the end of our broadcast tonight. We look forward to what's happening for the rest of the footy for the season. And then just to keep everybody excited, we look forward to some World Cup action as well, hey? So I think as we go along, going live and recording on Thursdays, some interesting football to look forward to.
By the way, have you guys seen the new rules for the World Cup?
No, I haven't.
With the
Well, what are they?
implementation? So if it's a goal kick and the player takes more than 5 seconds of on the referee's count, right? There's not 5 seconds since the goal kick on the referee's count. It will be a corner to the opposing team.
Interesting.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah. Same with throw-ins as well. 5 seconds on the referee's count. Otherwise, it's to the opposite team.
That leaves a lot of room where the officials can control the game. FIFA never wants to lose control of football. Whatever rules they change, it's for their benefit always. It's not me being controversial. I think it's a matter of fact. Secondly, corner. I mean, wow, that's gonna change things. So you can definitely put any team. You can control the whole competition by that one move, right? It's way too overpowered. Whenever he decides to count, and we're gonna start seeing FIFA decide who goes to the quarterfinals here. And then on the second point, the speed of the game. So football's that fast already, and they speeding it up way more. So, wow, interesting, interesting fact.
Yeah, I think that they're taking away what the word is, gamesmanship in the game.
Well, kind of gamesmanship isn't really a thing. There's so much time wasting, man. I think that's what they're trying to get rid of. I don't think it's too overpowered because the goalkeeper has 6 seconds to get rid of the ball, and it's never been an issue, right? Or it's an indirect free kick.
If you say it's never been a problem, why have they made a rule with it? Why is that rule installed if it was never such a big problem? Why implement a new rule? And I feel that it's just over control. It's got nothing to do about that football or speed, or maybe that's what you're trying to get at. It's about the speed of the game. No, they're pushing the game further because they want to have control. You add VAR, you've given them more control. Um, you change the rules by adding a corner after 6 seconds on the ref's discretion. He controls the game. It's all about FIFA wanting to control the game. It's got nothing to do with anything else. I think everything else is bullshit. It's just about controlling the game, and that's what they want. They never want to lose control. And I think that will be another conversation to say how corrupt they are. But my mind sees nothing else but FIFA trying to gain control of the football.
Well, that's not all the rules. But anyway, the goalkeeper can no longer get a yellow card for time wasting on the goal kick. It's just a corner. On the substitution, player going out is 10 seconds to get off the field. Otherwise, the next player, the player coming on, can't come on for 1 minute until the ball goes out. What was the other one? Oh, they are now VAR decisions on second yellow card.
Okay.
So if it should be a second yellow card and you should get a red, then it can go to VAR. VAR can intervene.
International rugby implemented that off the field referral if you can come back or not, or you get a 20-minute red card in rugby these days.
Sin bin.
Yeah, yeah.
20 minutes now, wasn't it? 10 minutes? When I used to
So
watch
you
it, I
get
think.
a yellow card depending on how bad your transgression. You can either go off for a red card for 20 minutes or it stays as a yellow card for your foul. Yeah.
That's interesting. No, 20 minutes is half of a half, quarter of the match. You're out. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, the World Cup. I
Yeah.
would like to see how these rules get implemented.
But I suppose it's part of change. And as the
Yeah,
world's
yeah.
changing, I suppose we must adapt or die, they say.
Yeah, I remember when I started playing football, the rules were a lot different. Like as a
Yeah.
goalkeeper, when the goalkeeper catches the ball, he's only allowed to take 3 steps forward. Then he has to release the ball. That's when I started playing goal. That was the rules. You couldn't run to the edge of the box and then punt it. Otherwise, it's a free kick. Any last thoughts, anyone?
No, I think you just blew the wind out of my sails when you said with that new rule. That's all I see. So whoever you thought was going to win the World Cup, that just changed.
All right, man.
Well,
So shoot time.
it's definitely going to happen in the last couple of minutes of the game, guaranteed.
Yeah,
Also, because that's when most of the time wasting happens, right?
yeah.
So they're going to blow for that. But
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see. I think maybe they're just putting the rule in there to stop the time wasting, to put the fear into the players like, hey, if we waste time, they might give a corner.
That's the
That's the other
idea.
thing for me. If you abide by the rules, then I don't think
Yeah,
it should be a problem, right? Then you wouldn't give
yeah,
away
yeah.
that corner that's going to dictate if you're going to win or lose, I
Yeah,
Yeah,
suppose, on the other
yeah. But
end of
if
it.
you running for 78 minutes, you are what we call kakmoeg, okay? And now they say you cannot catch your breath. You just did a halfway somersault to defend your ball, and now you have to run back because the count. Come on, man. For more than 150 years. Anyway, I'm not against it. I just see a deeper meaning than what meets the eye. I welcome it. Let's go. What I would like to see is that offside rule they're going to apply for next year, or whether they will implement it. I think we're going to see a whole lot of more goals, right? I think it's coming with the World Cup as well. Am I correct,
mm,
or is it only for next year?
yeah. There wasn't anything about offside rule, so I'm not sure. I
So
don't know.
yeah, you shouldn't. You have to pass the player. So that's interesting. I think that's gonna change football. It's gonna make it so much more exciting because what will happen is you'll have to change your entire mentality and formation because now the striker can be past you as long as his whole body is not past you. Can you imagine the paste merchants they're going to send up there and the diversions they're going to cause? It's going to be, they're going to run a havoc. All those guys that uh, did score goals were ruled offside. That's 25% more goals in there. So I'm gonna love that. It's also going to push down the value of strikers in the long run because the numbers will go up for everyone, and they'll all shout out that this is just the standard because of the new rule. So that's how you control the inflation on football because now it's going way too high. It's too much to keep up to. So when you change that rule, a lot of other things you have to apply as well. And when you get a 15 to 20% goal scoring increase, value goes up, or it is considered as a common denominator that they would add on to it. So you'll have silly people scoring 25, 30 goals per season because of the new rule. So what I'm trying to say is I'm really excited to see that happen, and I can't wait.
Awesome, man.
I
Thank you,
mean,
boys.
it's possible that the goals might go up, right? Makes sense because it's now easier. Or you might have just a whole lot more teams parking the bus. Like if we park the bus, the rule can't affect us
Back
because
to
we're all
Italian
inside the
football.
box.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
now it will be
That's a
it will
possibility.
be counter-attacking football, which Chelsea is a master at. Most of our titles we've won was because of counter-attacking football. So if that rule does stand and it does apply, a silly guy like me just realized that. I'm sure the board would understand this is what's going to happen, and many other professionals are going to realize that as well, and they'll start planning for that type of football. attacking, counter-attacking, or parking the bus. So you get someone like Jose Mourinho or Antonio Conte. Say, look, man, this is the type of football we're going to play. What do you need? And he says, I need 2 playmakers. I need 4 speed merchants. And there you go. The whole face of football changed by one rule. And that's amazing how one thing can have so much effect. And sorry to come back to it, and that would be the same effect when it comes to a goalkeeper getting no yellow card and conceding a corner for 2 seconds. Changes the face of football.
I mean, it could work. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the problem is just if it's a team like Chelsea and most of the smaller teams, you're going to be expected to dominate them. You can't play counter attack against small teams because they're already playing park the bus. So then you have
they are playing park the bus. You're correct, but now they're gonna get more points because it's gonna be a counter-attacking football. So it's not just about Chelsea. I use them as an example. So now you'll see that mid-table teams are going to shuffle. It's going to be a different type of game. That's all I'm trying to implement. You're going to see so much changes, and people like Bertrand Traore that has so much pace. They're going to just really use them just to draw out teams, and it's going to be. I can already see the picture. What type of football that be? Everything will be drawn to the corner posts, and from there it's going to be locked in again. They'll all be locked in the diamond, and from there they're going to break away. They're going to be running to the other side again, and that's the type of football we're going to see because of this new rule.
lots of speed merchants.
Interesting times ahead for sure.
Good luck to all the teams taking part and all the supporters. I hope that your team wins, whoever your team is. I will be enjoying this wonderful final with you guys live from Budapest. So until next time, Nevin.
Take care. Peace out,
Cheers,
everybody.
guys.